Wolf Blitzer at the end of the debate goes in and he says, what would you bring to the White House? So I want to play this clip. We're going to stop. Now, the first person he asks is who? Who's the first person he asks?
Santorum.
Okay. So the first person he asks is Santorum. What would you bring to the White House? Now, remember, Santorum is dealing with a couple of issues. One is he's going up against fundies, and he needs to remind the GOP electorate that he's just as fundamentalist as Michelle Bachmann. So he's got to talk about his family. All right. So here it is. This is the first thing.
If you're president, what would you bring to the White House?
Well, mine's pretty obvious. Karen and I have 7 children, so we'd add a bedroom and some beds to the White House.
Speaker Gingrich.
Okay, stop. So he's got to compete with Bachmann. I got 7 kids too, even though you've been a foster parent for 43 kids. And so he goes to Gingrich. What does Gingrich got to prove? He's got to prove that he's not the Washington insider, that he understands there's Washington corruption, even though he was the most corrupt Washington insider that he could be. And then the other thing that he's got to shake off from is the fact that he cheated on multiple wives. So what do?
And some beds to the White House.
Speaker Gingrich.
Well, first of all, I would reduce the White House by kicking out all of the White House czars the first day, creating a lot more space. And then, because of Callista's interest, we'd have a lot more music. Because of my granddaughter Maggie, we'd have ballet. And because of my grandson Robert, we'd have a very large chess set. So it would all come together.
Congressman.
So, you see, even though I screwed around on a couple of wives, one had cancer, but I'm a family guy. I love my grandchildren. I still love this wife until I meet somebody younger. I'm all about family, and I'm not for Washington bureaucracy, even though I am the only thing I am is a product of Washington. Let's go to the next one.
So it would all come together.
Congressman Paul.
I'd bring a bushel basket full of common sense, and I would also bring a
Pause it for a
course.
second. So first thing I would do is I'd just bring common sense. I wouldn't bring any loony ideas. And then just to sort of mitigate that,
I would also bring a course in Austrian economics to teach the people the business cycle and why the Fed creates inflation and depressions and all our unemployment problems.
And then, of course, he mitigates it by bringing a whole bucket full of craziness. The Austrian Mises, the Austrian anti-Keynesian thought of economics. Hey, here's a little project for you, Ron Paulites. Go look into history. Was there inflation and depression before the Fed existed? Was there inflation and depression before we got off the gold standard? And this is what you're going to find. We had more depressions and recessions, and they were more extreme and more common before that happened. What?
Hey, what happened?
Okay, next.
Governor Perry.
It's simple. I'm going to bring the most beautiful, most thoughtful, incredible First Lady that this country's ever seen, Anita.
Now, what could Rick Perry be hiding? What does Rick Perry think that he's got a liability of? I think what Rick Perry is saying there is, I'm not gay. I'm not gay. Why'd you ask? I didn't say I was gay. Next up.
Governor Romney.
Oh, Governor Romney, the flip-flopper, the man with no spine. What's going to make him look like he has spine? What is it that he really believes? This is a guy who has no conviction whatsoever. He's a liar. He's not brave. He's a coward.
One of my heroes was a man who had an extraordinary turn of phrase. He once said about us, he said, you can count on the Americans to get things right after they've exhausted all the alternatives. And now and then we've made a couple of mistakes. We're quite a nation. And this man, Winston Churchill, used to have his bust in the Oval Office. And if I'm president of the United States, it'll be there again.
So there he is. Mitt wants to argue that I'm like Churchill. When in fact, what he's really saying is that, when you realize that everybody else here is too crazy, you're left with me. And then finally, who's left?
Congresswoman Bachmann.
Congresswoman
I would bring
Bachmann.
a copy of the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution of the United States, and the Bill of Rights, and that's it.
That's right. Let's see. What did you say? The Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, which is the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. But wait a second. The Constitution has 27 amendments. Does Michelle Bachmann not know that the Bill of Rights is part of the Constitution, or is she saying that she's just going to leave off the last 16 amendments of the Constitution? Or maybe she's just saying that, don't forget, I'm crazy and not very bright. There you have it, folks. There is the Republican clown car.
No. Wait, there's also Huntsman.
Oh, sorry. We also have Huntsman. Well, what does Huntsman need? I mean, here's this effete, elitist. What could Huntsman possibly need to project?
Mr. Kane.
Oh, it's Herman Cain. Sorry.
There's
Herman
so many of
Cain.
them.
What does Herman Cain got to do? Well, let's see what he says.
I would bring a sense of humor to the White House because America is too uptight.
In other words, Herman Cain saying, listen, I'm a bit of a joke, but relax, loosen up, enjoy it. 999. All right. Now, so what is it that Huntsman needs? What is it? He's projecting this effete image. What does he need to project? So he's not considered such an elite, out of touch, effete type of guy.
Governor Huntsman.
And to play to that theme, my wife's going to kill me for saying this, but I would bring as a 40-year motorcycle rider, I would bring my Harley Davidson and my motocross bike.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 8
There you
Republican
go.
presidential candidates.
There you go. Huntsman wanting to butch up a little bit. Just got to butch up a little bit. So there's the clown car for you.